cryptocurrency market is looking bullish. Cryptocurrency price action does look bullish. So if you haven't considered being a bull, a perma bull from this point onwards, you may actually miss a 5, 10, 20, 50x moves in the market. We did see some of these assets running up 50% for the day, but look at what's up. This is directly putting Ripple as a name, and that's the Bretton Woods. And I'm like, that's huge. So if you go through what's happening in terms of adoption for the XRP ledger and the macro environment change for the crypto market as a whole, it is not a rocket science. It's not going to be a rocket science at this point. You know, when the Bitcoin maxis, even they are turning bullish on XRP, that's the time to see macro run up. Welcome to the scientific investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We actually saw the market running up. We actually had this understanding of say, okay, there's H bar. I think this is going to bounce. What happens? The price bounces from that level and is already testing that resistance. We had the call out for Golem, saying, okay, if it breaks here, that means you're going to look for a 40% run up. Skipping that breakout range. What happens? It actually does just exactly that. And some people even got the 50% entirely when the market did run up close to 50%. So when you look at the market right now, you can see money is rotating inside, but we are also getting new money, new liquidity coming into the market. So what does that mean for XRP? The price action here is showing us bulls are now in control. What does that mean? If you actually zoom in and look at what the hell is happening here, keep this in mind. This price action analysis kind of gives you the idea like the day 1, day 2, day 3, which was really slow. I did mention that before. Now one bullish day erases all those 3 days. That in itself is showing you a bullish movement. But to get things a little bit more clearer, we can actually look at a short-term chart and say, okay, this is a trend line which we are watching. We need a breakout. And if it does break higher, what's the measured move there? Say, to stay conservative, we can say, okay, that measured move here is going to be close to 15%. And if XRP break that range of 0.645, that means we're going to come up close to 0.75. That in itself will bring some bullish momentum. Why? You actually remove all this and look for a daily chart and look at what the indicators are suggesting you. Price action is bouncing. It showed us a hammer. It showed us a bullish engulfing candle, where that's the critical part here. If you do understand this part, now things become a little bit more easier. This is all happening in a region of support resistance. So the bulls entering at this part is critical. Now take the same price action, move into a 3-day chart. What are we watching right now? It's also forming an engulfing candle, suggesting we may actually go higher towards 0.7 to test the previous break to the downside. And that's happening at a time when the monthly has already shifted bullish. The monthly is retesting the range of 0.58. We came close to 0.6, so that's a great retesting range. We had bounced off from this level a couple of times before, so keep in mind price action will follow the higher time frame structure. If the monthly is showing you a bullish move here, don't go negative on this asset. On the fundamental side of things, when we actually look through these kind of documents, I'm like, this is macro bullish. It just came out in July, and I'm like, okay, that does look interesting. What are they talking about? They're literally talking about security issues with crypto, the Bank Secrecy Act, anti-money laundering, on all those things inside the crypto market. But what makes it even more interesting is they are looking through all types of transactions. They are looking through how crypto assets can be regulated and what type of regulations should be set as a framework so that they can actually start using this technology to actually deliver value. And it shows you they are looking at all different fronts to reduce the risks associated with the transaction in crypto. Now they go through each and everything here, and when you Come down to page 9, aligning crypto asset code in accordance with standards such as ISO. They actually take a note that there are some of these networks who actually does operate in that regard. Currently, there are several crypto service providers that use ISO 20022 compliance standards, such as Ripple. So this coming in a document like Bretton Woods. I'm like, you guys should actually think how big this is. You guys should actually understand how high the price would actually go. And that's where one of the tweet stands out here. See, back in the time when we actually listened to Brad talking about this, if you have fixed supply and the demand is slowly increasing, you don't have to go to MIT to understand what's going to happen. And that's exactly what we are talking about here. The price action is going to explode. As the market sentiment shifts, you are going to see things evolving. Right now, we are watching Bitcoin testing or flirting with the level of 30,000, and as soon as you get a clear retest and a bounce, this is going to be something crazy. Look for this on a shorter horizon. You did test that, you did break that, you are retesting that level. So once you see the price action breaking through this range, which is at 29,700. So if you bounce off from that level and break 30,300, this is going to be another bullish sentiment where the price action would push somewhere close to 31,500. So on a short-term horizon, we are watching bullseye entering. So as you zoom out for Bitcoin, the standard is actually suggesting you, the trend line has been strong. We've been monitoring this trend line. And if you keep an eye on the trend line here, you kind of look at this and say, okay, this is easy. We're coming back to the trend line and we're bouncing off each time. We discussed about this possibility from some time, and we are watching that bulls are attracted to this level. We are watching the MACD on a daily is crossing to the upside. That is bullish. Now, why is that bullish? Because this is happening at a time when the MACD on a monthly has crossed to the upside. RSI is already trending to the upside. Price is showing you a consolidation after the first run up, and it is the preparation for the next leg up. This is what we need to keep in mind. We are not going for the hype. We are looking for reality. We are looking for what the market is doing. And that's one of the primary reasons why we look for what the market is showing us. If the market is suggesting you the fact that we are getting a lot of buyers at this range, which happens to be the previous range of support resistance, that is something to keep in mind, because here you have a measured move. What's that? That measured move should actually take the price action up 100% from the breakout. The breakout region is 0.57. That puts the price above $1. So this short-term move and the breakout here in itself should push the price up. So if you actually plot that measured move here, you actually get 1.12. That's above a critical resistance. If you actually look through the history, you do understand this range acted as a resistance previously. And right now, when we had the pop, it was a resistance. So if we manage to break through that level, that means a significant chunk of the resistance is done. Now we are looking for $2. Now we are looking for $4. Things evolve quickly. When you get mass adoption, when you get mass media attention, and things like this actually, keeps our minds aligned with the future. Because when we actually see these bulls in Bitcoin, in Ether, all of them slowly understanding the fact that XRP is not going anywhere and it's about to pop. That means those of us who have been ready, packed with our bags, who are looking for a profit, exits, the strategy, all of them, if you spend time over the last couple of years creating that kind of a strategy, now it's time to revise it and be prepared and ready to take your profits. Now, why do you think I'm talking about taking profits when we are at 0.6? Emotional, psychological barriers that should be understood. Otherwise, when the price actually goes to a $2 mark, you would say, I'm not taking profits here, let it go up. Yeah, it can go higher, that's for sure. But what happens if there is something negative and the price consolidates there for another year? We really don't know what's going to happen. If there is some macro environment, another pandemic, you don't know what's going to happen, right? So make sure when your portfolio is 5x, you take some profits. Make sure when your portfolio is 10x, you take some profits. So now don't put the argument like, it would take me $10 to get a 10x, because the price actually consolidated in this region of 0.4 for a long period of time. That means you had time to buy at 0.3, you had time to buy at 0.5, keeping you an average of 0.4. So at $4, you're already 10x in this asset. And a lot of people would be looking for 100x, 1000x, 10,000x. That's a different story. But keep in mind, 100x can be possible. If you've averaged down close to 0.3, if your average is below that range, now you're literally looking for those big numbers. Now, that's the future. That's the speculative side of things. But if we actually look at the reality, we want to actually see what Bitcoin is doing. We understand it's bouncing off. Great. When Bitcoin is bouncing off, what's the Bitcoin dominance doing? That's an interesting part for us because we are in altcoins. So we actually take up the Bitcoin dominance. Right now, the Bitcoin dominance actually shows us the fact that it is breaking higher. That means the measured move for the Bitcoin dominance on a short-term horizon is 3.27%. Plot that, you will actually see Bitcoin running somewhere close to 52% in dominance. That means short-term, those crypto assets which are running against Bitcoin will prevail and run much higher. But those assets which are slowing down against Bitcoin will have hard time running up. So when you try trading, you need to understand which of these assets does show you a positive energy, which of these assets show you where you should be taking profits. Because if you don't understand the fact, what happens? The price goes up 40-50% for the day, and then it comes back down, where 10%, maybe zero, neutralized. So that run up is getting invalidated because the dominance in Bitcoin is increasing. Money flow will go back into Bitcoin when Bitcoin dominance is breaking higher. That should be kept in mind if you're trading the market. And that's an important point, because when you see a lot of these exchanges getting exposure in different countries, getting licensed, they're not only trading Bitcoin, they're not only trading XRP, they have a lot of different assets. So whenever you see price popping, they will look into all these different coins which are running up for the day. For all of us who are looking through different assets, keep in mind, look at the price action, look at the volume. If you understand there is a significant resistance, take your profits. Otherwise, this will happen. You go up, you get rejected. Go down to the chart and look for the day. You'll actually notice the fact that it popped up, it dropped. That's where when I say take profits, you should consider. And some of them has done that exceptionally well. Why? Because the resistance was strong. Because they knew the measured move was at 0.3. And where did the price get rejected? Watch this, 0.3. So unless this doesn't happen, now we are getting confused. The price is above the resistance. Now you may have to look at the macro. But mostly what happens, the price gets rejected first. Unless the entire market sentiment is bullish for the altcoin side of things. So keep that in mind and have the understanding of big assets, fundamentally strong assets. They're going to do wonders for sure. But it's going to take time because the monthly growth is still valid. Weekly is working on it. For some reason, weekly is working on it. So if you actually take the weekly chart for XRP, this is what we are watching right now. We're trying to bounce off from a trend line. And previously, whenever we have bounced off from this trend line, it was bullish. And if that's true this time, then we are looking for $1 or above. Maybe we can go up to $1.8, testing the 2021 highs. And if you were that guy saying back in June, July here, I should have taken some profit at $2, that day is going to come soon. And when the price action reaches close to $1.92, what are you going to do? Are you going to really take profits? Or are you going to stay back and relax? Always know what you should do because the market can go crazy. So guys, if you understand that the market shows you a lot of opportunities and if you're looking for things like that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where you actually get all these calls for the breakouts as the market is trending higher. It won't give you another set of time horizon. Maybe next 3 months, maybe next 6 months. Done. trading opportunities will go out. This is the time. If you are a long-term investor, you are accumulating. If you are learning to trade, you are taking multiple small trades, improving yourself, preparing yourself for the big pop-off. And if you are learning and you're ready, join us. If you received value, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.